Hello YouTube, Oleg here with another boot review, and tonight we'll be discussing Red Wing Iron Ranger in style 8119 Mesa Oxblood. This is perhaps one of the most well-known Red Wing boots from their Heritage Collection. There's been multiple reviews on YouTube by various individuals, so I am offering my personal perspective as a proud owner of these, having owned them for a couple months now and having worn them in a variety of settings. I would like to share my thoughts and perhaps help answer some questions, and if any of you are on the fence about potentially owning them yourselves, then hopefully this information will be useful and helpful to you. So I'd like to start with discussing the history of Red Wing brand. It is perhaps one of the most American brands of boots. It was started in 1905 by a guy by the name of Charles Beckman. At the time, he saw a need for versatile boots for workers in Minnesota, and he decided to go ahead and start his own company, be more responsive to the demand, and create boots in various sizes that would allow better fit than what was currently available at the market at that time. So for the longest time, these boots were primarily used by working class Americans. They were supplier I believe they were a number one tier supplier to U.S. Army in World War I and World War II. These were widely seen as utilitarian boots. And so they have found their way into the modern society by the way of trusted quality, ingenuity, and the test of time. This particular leather is, once again, Mesa Oxblood. Mesa leather is, it's got a very nice, supple, and oily feel to it. Feels extremely good when tried on. Something about this particular boot, once it got broken in, I gotta tell you, it just fits absolutely fantastic. If you've seen any of my previous videos, I am a true 10D on the Brannick device. But the crazy part about these boots is I actually had to go down to, I had to go down by a size and a half in these boots. So again, I'm a size 10D on the Brannick. These are actually size 8.5D. I mean, that's the smallest size footwear that I've ever owned in my life since I was probably, my early teens. And I am 31 years old now, so this is, I'm definitely not growing anymore, but these boots are, again, size and a half smaller than what I normally wear in dress shoes and sneakers. These boots do feature the Puritan triple stitch construction. The really neat thing here with the stitching is that only the middle stitch is contrast color, it's white. The upper and the lower stitches are actually darker color threads, so you don't see them as easily from far away. And they are extremely sturdy. I mean, you hear crazy stories about people owning these for like 12, 15 years and wearing them almost daily, and short of the soles getting worn out and replaced every so often, the stitching, the hardware, and the leather upper just keeps on going and doesn't stop. Just incredible. I mean, that's a it's a solid testament to the brand and the quality of these boots. So just something to keep in mind if you're shopping around for a sturdy and enduring pair of boots. These do feature brass hardware, so you've got 4 sets of eyelets and 3 sets of speed hooks. I don't really know how I feel about the speed hooks, to be honest. I mean, the speed hooks are nice if you're putting your boots on and taking them off frequently. Some people really do prefer to have eyelets going all the way up, and if that is your preference, you can very easily have that taken care of. Just take them to your local Red Wing store and request for the hardware to be swapped out. It usually takes a couple weeks. They get sent out to the factory in Minnesota, and they come back, and you can have them whichever way you want. So personally, I don't mind the speed hooks. Again, I do find them to be very convenient. If you're putting these on and taking them off, that comes in extremely handy. I travel quite a bit, so I spend a lot of time at the airports, and having speed hooks definitely helps with lacing and unlacing of the boot. Some people do say, I've heard some people complain online and in other YouTube videos and reviews that I've seen, where people do say that these get bent very easily. Personally, I've tried actually purposefully bending them, and no matter how much pressure I apply, it doesn't seem to be the case. So just my personal opinion, I think unless you are using these to do heavy duty work, field work, any sort of trades and so on and so forth, I don't think you have to worry about that. And as far as using these particular boots for work, just a disclaimer, they were a working boot back in the day, and by back in the day I mean 1920s. The name comes from them being used by workers on the Iron Range in Minnesota. That's why they're called Iron Rangers. But again, we're talking, over 90 years ago. So, needless to say, the engineering and the technology has come leaps and bounds since then. So these are currently not rated by Red Wing as a work boot. They are, once again, part of their heritage collection, and by no means should they be used to perform any sort of manual labor in. You definitely should not be expecting the longevity and the protection that your typical run-of-the-mill work boot by Red Wing, or any other brand for that matter, will offer. These are definitely a lifestyle boot. With that being said, they are exceptional quality boot. They do last quite a long time. Again, there's reviews of people having them for years upon years, and with proper shoe care and conditioning, there's no reason why they should not last you at least 10 years. So these do feature leather lining. They do have leather insoles. They are very, very comfortable. They are, once you get the right size, which for me, it took a lot of trial and error, and luckily I do have a local Red Wing store in the area where I live. I am a resident of Central Florida, so in Melbourne there is a store, and it's got great people working there, very patient, very knowledgeable. I've gone in there multiple times, and they've helped me try different sizes on. They measured my foot a bunch of different ways and shared their professional opinion, which helped greatly to get the right size. Without that, I would have probably just gotten the size, either 9.5 or size 9, and wouldn't have known any better. But again, apparently, as it stands now, I am a size 8.5 in the Iron Rangers. These are made on Red Wing's number 8 last. Something to point out, and the same goes for Red Wing's other models such as the Merchant and the Rover and also the Blacksmith. Those are all 4 models are made on number 8 last. So if I'm size 8.5 in the Iron Rangers, I'm going to be size 8.5 in all the other styles as well. As far as the soles go, oops, got laces tied up here. Gotta get them unhooked. The soles are on this guy are a Vibram mini lug. Up until 2017, I believe, Red Wing actually manufactured their Iron Rangers boots with the cork sole. It was cork, I believe it was cork and leather mixture. And with that, this boot actually passed more for a dressier boot. But the trade-off there was that it did not offer near the traction that this particular sole offers. And a bunch of people that I've seen reviews done by that have an older model of the Iron Ranger, it's a unanimous complaint from all of them. They're all saying that they've been sliding all over the place, they've been tripping and falling, and so definitely a good thing for Red Wing to rethink their soles on these guys and offer better overall boot experience. I'll talk a little bit about quality of these guys. In my opinion, again, I've mentioned this a few times, I am a huge boot enthusiast. Red Wing has been a brand that I've known of since I was just a young guy. Worked in a factory before, and I've had Red Wing boots that were stipend by my previous employer, so I've had quite a bit of experience with the Red Wing brand. But again, in the past, they've all been the work boots. They've all had the steel toe. They've been, they were a different construction type. And this is definitely a lifestyle boot that I just recently became familiar with. And just think it looks incredibly stylish. It, can be worn with khakis and jeans alike. Some people disagree and think that this is definitely more of a utility boot. Looks better with just jeans, a dress down version. I personally think that these can pass for dressy footwear with the right outfit. Again, it's my personal opinion. I don't claim that it is to be used as a Bible by any means, but for me personally, this boot does offer quite a bit of versatility, and I've been able to pass it on in different settings. So I want to take a little bit of time talking about the laces. So as you've probably seen from my other videos, I like to play around with the laces. These came with just the generic stock Red Wing black laces. They were okay. They obviously did the job. Red Wing does offer lifetime replacement on all the laces on the footwear that's purchased from them. With that being said, I brought them home. I've taken them out and replaced them with these yellow Kevlar laces that I got. And yeah, I think that it looks pretty sweet. They're yellow with a little maroon thread in them, and they match the uppers of the boots very well. They're slightly long, but it looks really good. I like to kind of wrap them around, and I think it just adds to the flair and the style of the boot when you wear it. As I mentioned before, I had the privilege of working with a couple of guys over at the Red Wing store here in Melbourne, Florida, where I live. The store manager at this location is just a super cool guy, very knowledgeable, taught me a bunch about the shoe construction, just extremely passionate about what he does. And if you're, I think if you're ever in the Florida, Central Florida area in Melbourne, definitely go up to the store. I believe the store number is 134. Store manager's name is Rennie. Again, big shout out to him. Rennie, if you're watching this, you're the man. Thanks to you and your guys for hooking me up. But yeah, definitely a great idea. If you have the opportunity and you're coming from the world of sneakers and wearing sneakers and just casual shoes, and you're just like a novice and looking to get into the boots for the very first time, especially you know, an upper echelon boot such as this, you know, you are spending quite a bit of money on these guys. I would strongly recommend getting measured before taking the leap and purchasing a pair. There's a local Red Wing store near you. Please stop by. I believe every Red Wing location has a digital Brannick device, which actually takes a heat map of your feet when you step into them, and it really tells you the difference between your feet. So most people have different size feet. Usually whatever your dominant side of the body is, you know, that foot is slightly larger, just because you have a tendency to lean on that side of the body more, therefore it's slightly overdeveloped. So for example, for me, I'm right-handed, so my right foot is actually slightly wider and shorter, whereas my left foot is slightly narrower and longer. Whenever you're picking out a pair of boots for yourself, always make sure that you are going by the larger and the widest of the 2 feet. Now, again, you could be one of the lucky people and have 2 feet of the same exact size. In that case, good for you, but I believe majority of the population, there's a slight variation in the foot size between the 2 feet. So just an FYI, always go with the larger of the 2 feet and size your footwear to the larger of the 2 feet. Something else I wanted to discuss is the shoe care, the boot care. So Red Wing, in addition to being a premier footwear provider, they also have their own line of shoe care solutions and accessories. So what I have over here are just a few things that I've picked up from Red Wing. So the 2 things that Red Wing recommends using on their boots are the leather cream here and the all-natural leather conditioner. The difference between the 2 is that the leather cream will actually allow, so you should use the leather cream if you want to, if you really care about the aesthetics of how the boot looks. For example, this one is got a really nice maroon tone to it. If you really are passionate about the color of this boot, you definitely don't want it to change. You want it to maintain the same shade year after year, then this is the guy that you want to use. So this particular cream, it is made with neat's foot oil. So that is made out of the shin burns of the cattle, which is, you know, kind of weird, but whatever. It's a little thick. When you apply it to the surface of the boots, it does tend to get a little greasy and clunky. One thing I don't necessarily like about this guy is that it tends to get into the crevices and the stitching of the boot, and then you kind of have to use your nail, or I've actually used like quarters and some change to kind of get in the crevices and get the excess you know, solution out of there, so that it doesn't kind of fossilize and, you know, become hardened and then discolor the leather in that regard. So the trade-off with this, while it will not affect the color of the leather nearly as much, it does not offer near the amount of water protection. So again, if you are looking to use these boots, you know, if you're looking to take them on the hike, or if you're going to be camping or something like that, and or just walking around, you know, your town, and it happens to rain a lot in the area where you live, then this particular cream might not be the best solution for you, simply because, again, it does not have the water-resistant, water-repellent properties that some of the other solutions might have. And then we also have this guy right here, which is the Red Wings All Natural Leather Conditioner. And the one thing that I do like about this guy, here, I'm actually going to open that up real quick. What I like about this particular product is that it is like a waxy, balmy type of solution that goes on, creates a very slick coat over the upper of the boot. Usually let it sit and dry for anywhere 5 to 10, 15 minutes, depending on how heavy of a coat you put on. And then all you do is just take a horsehair brush like this and just buff out the excess. Can use a microfiber cloth to kind of polish up the boot to give it extra shine and slick appearance. But this particular conditioner does, in fact, allow for better water protection, water repellent property, as opposed to the leather cream. However, FYI, to all of you watching this, all of the individuals that care about the appearance of the boot, this does have the potential of darkening the leather. It does have the potential of turning the color slightly darker. Now, it's not going to turn this maroon boot completely black, like the mink coil would, which I don't own and I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about, but this particular conditioner will make the leather go down a shade or two. So it'll still be maroon, but it's not going to be this bright, saturated maroon color that it is now. So there's a trade-off with every solution. I personally have not used this particular conditioner on these boots, just because, again, I care about the appearance of the leather a great deal. I want them to stay as close to the original color when I got them out of the box as possible. But not everybody's like me, so just giving a little preview to all those who might care. Price-wise, this particular conditioner is $13.99 at the Red Wing store. And then the leather cream was $9.99. So just $4 difference. And there you have it. So those are the two that I use on various pairs of boots that I own, depending on the application and what I use them for, how much I care about the leather. Really don't need to worry about applying the cream or the conditioner too often. You really don't want to do it when you first get the boots, when they first come out of the box. Red Wing does actually polish and saturate their footwear before sending them out of the factory, and they strongly don't recommend you applying any sort of solution to the boot when you first get it, especially during the break-in period. That can cause the boot to moisturize and stretch, and then it could cause fit issues. So if you're trying to stretch the boot to size, these boots do, Red Wing is known, I should mention this as well, Red Wing is known for a pretty brutal break-in period, but applying leather care products to the boot straight out of the box can actually ruin the experience and overstretch the boot, and then you will literally get the proverbial, I guess for the lack of a better way to put it, the hot dog in the hallway sensation while wearing these. So I will mention this, again, Red Wing team at their stores, they are all professional boot fit specialists. They're all trained to understand how the orthotics work and how a human foot is supposed to fit inside of the boot. So it is, in my opinion, it is totally worth the time to go to the store, if there's one near where you live, and try on a pair of boots, get sized. Now, depending on the location of where you might live, Some Red Wing stores focus more on their work lines than on their heritage line. But with that being said, whether it's a corporate store or a franchise, they are all able to order whatever style of boot is currently available from the factory, and usually the shipping is under 1 week, which is, for all of those, all of you out there who are into immediate gratification like myself, that's definitely very welcome news. If you have any questions at all regarding the content that was presented in this video today, please post your comments below. If you enjoy the information that's being shared here, I appreciate a thumbs up on this video. And as always, I welcome an opportunity to have a wholesome discussion pertaining to the Red Wing boots, or this particular style or any other style in the Red Wing boots out there. And all questions, comments, and concerns are welcome. So today, this was a review of Red Wing Iron Ranger 8119 in Mesa Oxblood. Thank you all very much for watching. We'll be in touch soon.